7 money mistakes keeping you broke in 2026. If you're still struggling with money in 2026, it's not random. It's not bad luck. And it's not because you don't work hard. It's because of a few silent mistakes you repeat every single day. And the dangerous part, most people never notice them. They just keep working, keep earning, and somehow they stay in the same place. In this video, I'm going to break down 7 of those mistakes. Not surface-level advice, but the real patterns that quietly keep people broke. And one of them, the final one we'll discuss, controls almost everything else. Most people think money problems come from not earning enough. That's the first illusion, because there are people making decent money, even good money, and still living paycheck to paycheck. So the issue isn't just income, it's behavior, it's habits. It's the way money is handled every single day. If you don't fix the behavior, more money will only make your problems bigger. Mistake number 1, living above your income. This is where most people lose control early. You start making a little more money, and immediately your lifestyle grows with it. Better phone, better clothes, more spending. It feels like progress, but it's not. Because instead of creating space, you create pressure. Now your expenses rise to match your income, and you're stuck again. No room to breathe, no room to build. And the worst part? It becomes your new normal. You don't even question it anymore. The shift is simple but uncomfortable. Live below your means, even when you can afford more. That gap between what you earn and what you spend, that's where your future comes from. Mistake number 2, not knowing where your money goes. But here's the problem. Even people who try to spend less still struggle. Why? Because they earn, they spend, and at the end of the month, they're wondering where it all went. It's not usually one big expense. It's small, consistent leaks. Food, subscriptions, impulse spending. Individually, they feel harmless. Together, they drain you. And because you don't track it, you can't control it. You can't fix what you don't see. This is where discipline starts. Not with earning more, but with awareness. When you know exactly where your money goes, you take back control. Mistake number 3, depending on one source of income. Now here's where it gets serious. This is one of the biggest risks people ignore in 2026. You rely on one job, one paycheck, one stream, and you call that stability. But it's not. It's a single point of failure. Because the moment that income stops, whether it's a layoff, a market shift, or an AI tool taking your department, everything collapses. No backup, no safety, just pure pressure. In 2026, relying on one income is dangerous. Not because jobs are bad, but because they are limited. Real security comes from having leverage. You need to build a skill or an asset that you own, something that earns money independently of your 9 to 5. Whether it's a freelance service, a digital product, or a side project, you need a second engine running. You aren't looking for extra work, you're looking for insurance. Real freedom comes from knowing that if one door closes, you don't even have to knock on the next one. You already have the keys. Mistake number 4, not increasing your value. Most people hear about multiple incomes and they think they just need more hours. But you don't need more hours. You need more value. You want more money, but you're not becoming more valuable. That's the disconnect. Your income is a reflection of the value you bring to the marketplace. If your skills stay the same, your income stays the same. Or worse, it falls behind as inflation rises. A lot of people stay comfortable here. Same routine, same effort, same results, year after year. But the world moves forward. If you don't grow, you get left behind. The shift? Invest in skills that pay. Communication, sales, digital systems, problem solving. Things that make you useful in any environment. Because when your value increases, your income follows. Mistake number 5, listening to the wrong people. And this is where it gets dangerous. This one is subtle. You take advice from people who are in the same situation, or worse. People who normalize being broke, who justify bad decisions, who say things like, money isn't everything, while struggling to pay bills. Slowly, their mindset becomes yours. You start accepting things you shouldn't, because your environment shapes your standards. If everyone around you is stuck, staying stuck feels normal. That's how people lose years. Be careful who you listen to. Not everyone deserves influence over your decisions. Mistake number 6, chasing quick money. Now, here's where people get it wrong. They hear, get a second income, and they start sprinting in 10 different directions at once. This is one of the fastest ways to stay broke. You want results now, so you jump into whatever is trending this week. One month, it's a specific crypto coin. The next month, it's an easy AI agency. The month after that, it's a new e-commerce hack. You're constantly starting, but you're never building. There is a massive difference between diversifying your income and diluting your focus. If you change your strategy every time you see a get-rich-quick ad, you are resetting your progress to 0 every single month. Real wealth is actually quite boring. It rewards the person who can stay focused on one path long enough for the compound interest to kick in. You don't need a new opportunity. You need to stay in your lane until you actually cross the finish line. Mistake number 7, lack of discipline. This is the real problem, the one I warned you about. It's not your job. It's not your background. It's your consistency. Because you already know most of what we've discussed. You know you should spend less. You know you should improve your skills. You know you should be more intentional. But knowing isn't the issue. Doing it every day is. Most people think discipline is a personality trait. You either have it or you don't. That's the lie that keeps you broke. Discipline is actually just the ability to choose between what you want now and what you want most. Think about your brain like an old operating system. It's designed for survival, not wealth. It wants the dopamine hit of the new purchase today because it doesn't trust that tomorrow exists. When you lack discipline, you aren't just lazy. You are letting a primitive version of yourself run a modern economy. And that version will always choose comfort over growth. Without discipline, nothing sticks. You start, then stop. Plan, then quit. Try, then drift. And that cycle keeps repeating for years. The difference between those who win and those who stay stuck isn't opportunity. It's the ability to stay focused when nothing exciting is happening. Now here's the shift you need to understand. All these mistakes, they're connected. It's not one thing holding you back. It's a system of behaviors. Fix one, and you improve. Fix several, and your life starts to change. So what do you actually do from here? Keep it simple. Start by tracking your money. Know where it goes. Cut what doesn't matter. Then focus on increasing your value. Learn something that pays. Build a second stream, even if it's small. And most importantly, stay consistent. Not for a week, not for motivation, but long enough to see real results. Because here's the truth. Most people will hear this and do nothing. They'll agree, they'll nod, and go right back to their habits. That's why nothing changes. But if you actually apply even 2 or 3 of these, your financial life a year from now will not look the same. The difference isn't information, it's action. If you're serious about building real wealth, stay disciplined. Because at the end of the day, money isn't just about numbers. It's about control. Control over your time. Control over your decisions. Control over how you live. Right now, a lot of people don't have that control. Every time you spend without thinking, you give up a piece of your future. Every time you avoid learning, you delay your growth. A year goes by, nothing changes. 5 years go by, still the same cycle. But imagine the opposite. You track your money, you build your skills, you stay focused. Slow at first, then noticeable, then undeniable. That's the test. Can you stay committed when there's no immediate reward? Don't try to fix everything at once. Pick one thing from this video, just one. Lock it in, then build from it. Small changes, done consistently, create real results. Most people won't do this. That's why most people stay exactly where they are. But if you're different, you'll take this seriously. And a year from now, you won't recognize your financial situation. That's the difference. Subscribe if you're serious about building real wealth. Not for motivation, but for direction. Stay disciplined.